Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know this is totally different because I don't usually go live on a Friday evening. Um, but I thought I would because I have not been going live recently for the last 2 weeks. I'm so sorry, it's been crazy over here. But I thought I would do a video because I actually put makeup on today. I look human, all the things. So I thought I would catch you up because I had a big week this week. And yeah. So if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Teresa. The hair is just not wanting to cooperate. Welcome to my channel where the hair doesn't want to cooperate 99% of the time because I have naturally curly hair and that's just what curly hair does. So I do whatever I want on my video because on my video. I do whatever I want on my channel because I don't like putting myself in a box. And today I want to talk to you guys about my recent neuropsychological testing. I've been saying this wrong for a while now. I would say neurological testing. It's neuropsychological testing. Um, this is specifically testing the brain and how it works, not necessarily the body and like how it works with the nervous system. That would be the neurological portion of it. This is neuropsychological testing. So, again, this is looking at the brain and how it works. And if you're new here, trying to rule out my disability, which is dyscalculia. I've had it ever since first grade, been put on an IEP all throughout my life. And because I live in America, and in order to get government benefits, you have to have something stated from a doctor saying that you have this. And so this is where I'm kind of just sharing my journey with all of you. And so I do have a part one on my channel if you want to check that out. Um, Kind of just talking about the first steps of this. And so this is part two. So let's get into part two. And hopefully, this will be really short and sweet. So, I met with the person who's actually going to do the testing. I did that on Wednesday, and I thought I was actually going to get tested. Well, that wasn't the case. It was actually more of a consultation. And so we actually just ended up talking about my social history and academic history. And so she grabbed the notes from the psychologist or whatever that I talked to first, that I talked about in part one. And we kind of just went over all the social stuff and um, academic stuff. So a lot of that was just for social, talking about school and just kind of growing up and stuff. And I talked about how in school I actually had like a lot of friends. I should have told her, like, a lot of people perceived me to be popular, but I really hate that term. Um, Especially in like high school and stuff, because I don't think I was popular. Because being a special ed kid and also being in band and eventually choir and theater, like that's not a combo that you would classify as popular. I like to say I was well known because of what I did, which was being heavily involved in the arts. But I wasn't popular by any means. So we talked about social history when it came to school and outside of school. Told her I was really involved in, theater. Um, I don't think I talked a lot about trying a lot of sports, but I did tell her I did dance. Um, and yeah, so like kept really active as a kid. We did talk about like medical history, which for me, being a closed adoptee, I didn't really have a lot because the first 2 years of life, I don't have that history. Generally, if you um, have that history, they will ask you about that. Sorry, guys, I'm shaking the camera here. I just know this because of what I do for a living. Um, and because of what I've done in the past for a living, which is working with kids and families to establish an IEP, which stands for individual education plan. And so a lot of times when you're establishing an IEP, they will ask the parent of the mom specifically of how was pregnancy? Did you have a normal pregnancy? Was there anything wrong? Delivery, was that okay? Was there any complications after, the child was born? Etc. So we talked about that. I did bring up the precocious puberty. I should have mentioned that nothing like with that was wrong. He did ask if I was treated with hormones, and I said yes. And I gave her the timeline of that. Um, but I should have told her like it wasn't any like tumor or anything like that, which I think I might be able to message her. Yeah, because she's with the correct office that I'm thinking. And just fill her in like, hey, by the way, like it wasn't that. So, we did talk about like medical history from the past, which for me, like being a closed adoptee, like really kind of hard to talk about because I just don't have that history. But I'm working through that through therapy, so that's all, a work in progress here. Um, and then, like I said, social history. We talked about academics, and that's really when I dug into my whole IEP and what that kind of was like. If you guys have watched any of those videos on my channel, I talked about how I kind of started with an IEP, how it started. Yes, it was mainly math, but there was a portion of reading comprehension, how that's gotten a lot better. Um, and then she asked me like specific with math, like, um, what kind of calculations are you good at? Where's kind of the weaker points? And so I said, I'm really good with adding now. Um, should it's I should have said like not super large numbers, but like I guess what is it like tens, like numbers of tens or something. Um, yeah, if it's something like that, I can do pretty quickly in my head. But told her like cannot do multiplication in my head. They literally tried to get me. I did tell her they tried to get me to memorize a multiplication table, could not do it. They also didn't really push it that much on me, um, because that has to do with like working memory, I believe. And that's the challenge with dyscalculia is it's a disability with working memory. And so, yeah, asked about like percentages, and I was like, yeah, no, don't even ask me about percentages because that is working memory and trying to figure out like what are the steps to figuring out percentages. Literally had a client once ask me if something's on sale for like 5% off, like what would that be from the original price? And I'm like, I don't know, because I just don't know how to do that. It's not in my capabilities of really knowing how to do that because it's part of my disability. Um, and so, yeah, I don't remember the steps to figuring out even how to like calculate that. And I literally tried with the client in front of me and I'm like blinking out. So, anywho, so percentages, asked about division, multiplication, subtraction, which I've always been really weak on subtraction. It's a whole counting backwards thing. I just am not good at it. Asked about money, and I was like, yeah, you're really bad with money as far as like counting out change, which is really great for what I do of trying to help people with disabilities manage money and trying to help them like count out change occasionally for when they need to like do laundry or something. um, or double check that they had the correct amount of money or something. And so we also talked about like struggles within my job. Um, for me, the biggest thing within my current job is driving. We drive all around town. And so I told her like my biggest thing is I need to like have access to a GPS. Not only that, but I need to have like a phone mount, um or like a car, because we do have to take company cars, um that have like you can plug in your phone or do Apple Play, that the screen is like right there, or have the phone mount so my phone can be right there so I can look at the GPS um, safely and oops, know where I'm going, because I cannot memorize the routes that I take ever, especially now with road construction going on all over town. Um, yeah, no, because we drive so much, and especially when I'm getting clients that are more like out of town, or it's not even out of town, it's like suburbs of where I live. Can't do it. Uh yeah. I should know like how to get my one client for, you know, after picking up the other one to go to our actual location on Thursdays, because we've done it so often, but I can't. Uh Literally can't. I think I know how now, but I have to rely on the GPS just in case something goes wrong. Um, for whatever reason, if there is like random construction that is unplanned, I mean, I do follow the like public page where it tells us that there's going to be construction. But I was literally driving actually Friday on like my way back from the appointment and talking to this person, and literally there was a car accident, and it was like 2 lanes here, 2 lanes over here. So I was going this way, the 2 lanes this way, and there's 2 lanes going this way. And I had to backtrack. And I literally like freaked out because I was like, I've never had to like go a different direction home, because I'm so like one-minded in the way that like I know one route and that's it, because my brain can't handle trying to learn more than one route to a place, especially with the job that I have of we're driving everywhere all the time. I can't handle learning more than one route um, to a certain place. And so there's that. So I was explaining to her the whole like issue of driving in my job and some other issues that I have with my job and how the disability like affects it. And so, yeah. So, academic, social, job stuff. And so then we ruled out like what exactly needed to be tested, what exactly um we're kind of looking for and stuff. And so, yeah, we are going to look for the attention piece. We are going to obviously look for the disability. She did give me an option to do this in 1 day or do it in 2 days. And just because of my job and because I work with clients, um, I decided to do it in 1 day. Stupidly, I decided to schedule this on the same day of my first ballet class. Yes, I did find a place here in town that does adult ballet classes. I am so excited to start ballet again. I complained about it when I was a child, but oh my gosh, I want to get back into dance like so badly. And I've talked about it with both of the therapists that I've had recently. And they're like, yeah, do it. Like get back into dance. And so it's not the cheapest thing, but it's not bad for like one class. It's a $97 a month tuition fee. So I kind of have to watch it with spending, which is so freaking hard with what I do. However, I'm really working with a client to like back down on spending and what we're doing. So we're working on it together, and that's all. Hopefully, should be going good this month, and hopefully, we continue that. And so, yeah, but I'm really, really excited. I literally just told my supervisor today, I was like, you're going to be so proud of me because I did an adult thing and I literally got signed up for an adult ballet class. And she's like, you did? I didn't even know that was a thing. They had that in town. And I was like, yeah, I found a place that like does it. And so, yeah. So with that said, that's kind of all we did. The actual testing will be done September 2nd. And so I'm just really excited to learn more about this. I do have to give my supervisors so a shout out. They're not watching this, but I do need to give them a shout out because they've just been like amazing supports through this. They both have talked to me about how like it's not necessarily learning about your disability as much as it's about learning about your abilities. And so it's helping me kind of shift that focus. And so that's really nice. And they just been both of them amazing like supports. And so I will be sharing the results with them as well as I'm positive that it's gonna really help them learn a bit about me too and just kind of help to figure out like how best to like teach me when it comes to training and like managing me. That's so weird to say, but like, yeah, like managing me because I feel like if you just kind of give me guidelines on what to do, or not even guidelines, just tell me what to do, I'll do it. I'll get it done. Um, and just kind of like leave me alone to a degree. Um, I'll get my stuff done. But yeah, I'm just really excited to do this. I kind of want August to be over just so I can do this testing. And they've been really accommodating too. Like, this is what I'm just so grateful also for doing what I do, which is work with adults with disabilities. And so, yeah, anywhere else would be so confused and be like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you needing to get this done? I just feel like anywhere else would be like really confused. So, anyways, with all that said, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Um, I will keep updating you guys. I will probably do a weight loss or something, weight maintenance, I guess, update soon because I did see my doctor Wednesday as well and give you guys that update to make up for the last 2 weeks that I haven't posted. Sorry. So yeah, if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I really hope that this just like helps somebody out there. And so yeah, if you like it, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe down below, hit the bell for notifications. I post every weekend, and I hope you all have an amazing weekend. I was talking way too fast. So, I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I will keep you guys updated on how testing goes next month and let you guys know what the results are as well. But first and foremost, my doctor will be the first to know. Supervisors will also know as well. So I'll see when you guys will get those results too. But first and foremost, the doctor gets to know first. So, love you guys. Have a great weekend.